Adnaan, welcome to the Commerce Talks podcast number 9 at the Seamless Conference, podcast number 4 today at day 2 at the Seamless Conference.
Pleasure to be here.
Seamless Conference. And today we are talking about an area I don't have a clue, which is the sneaker business.
That's right.
And actually, it was one of the first podcasts which we recorded here in the Commerce Talks with StockX, with Josh Lüber. It was like 4 years ago or 5 years ago. I don't even remember exactly. But you will definitely tell me more. Plus, please introduce yourself and tell us a bit more about Thriller.
Yes. So my name is Adnaan Jassat. I am the founder of Thriller Middle East. We are the region's first online marketplace for sneakers and recently apparel and collectibles. So Thriller Middle East is not your typical e-commerce website. We function very similar to StockX, as you had your earlier guest, Josh Lüber, where we are a platform for buyers and sellers to come on and exchange sneakers. So we have two types of users on our platform. We have buyers and sellers. Buyers place bids, sellers place asks, and when a bid and ask meets, that's how a transaction happens on Thriller. Hope that makes sense.
Totally makes sense, but can you guide us a little bit more like in detail through the customer journey? So let's say I'm going to be like a seller on your platform. I buy a pair of sneakers at, I don't know, a big Nike drop action or whatever, and I secure the next generation Jordan's limited version, blah. So, and then I go to your platform, and what's now?
That's right. So let's say that you've acquired the latest Jordan 1 release. So Alex today has a Jordan 1 that he'd like to sell. He'd come to our platform, and then you would list it on our platform for whatever price you choose, looking at other sellers' data, getting to know what price you should list at a bit better. And the moment that you've decided the price you want, you list it. And that goes live to our base of 10,000 customers that browse every single hour on our website. And then the moment that it is sold...
Do we have to take a photo from...
No pictures needed, because all the sneakers that we sell are brand new in the same condition. So whether it's you selling it or it's another guy selling it, all the sneakers will be in the exact same condition.
So it's no used sneakers?
No used sneakers, only brand new. And the plus side of our marketplace is we authenticate every single pair. So if it's your first time selling with us or it's your 10th time selling with us, regardless of that, you have to ship your pair to our warehouse. When you ship it to our warehouse, we authenticate the pair.
Before I put the offer online?
No, after. So after it's sold. So you can completely, you can for free, you can place your ask on our website and you will not be charged and you will have the pair until it's sold. Once it's sold, it'll be shipped to our marketplace, to our warehouse, which we will then authenticate the product and make sure that it's brand new, like we discussed, it's authentic, it meets our guidelines, etc. Then after that's done, we pay you out and we ship the goods to the buyer.
Okay, how many people are working now for Thriller?
We're a team of 6 at the moment.
And how many transactions are you managing? Because you only earn money if there's like a
transaction.
Transaction.
Correct. So if there's a bid or there's an ask, there's no revenue being made, but we make our revenue from transactions. So currently we're doing about 15 to 20 transactions a day. We're doing over just about, I would say, under 100 a week, and our average order value is about 1,000 dirhams per sneaker. So it's not the low value sneakers.
That's so more or less like 250 euros or dollars.
Yes, correct. About, let's say, $275.
Okay. Can you give an overview about the sneaker industry? I remember just try to explain me the industry and understand there's like people even in my LinkedIn feed like super proud about like sneakers, and like on conferences you don't see leather shoes anymore. Everybody's like wearing white sneakers, and then there's like special sneakers. People show, you have this. It's something I'm not related to at all. So you have to give us like the full introduction.
Yes, of course. No problem. So sneakers has grown significantly. I think if you look back at maybe 2016, which was the year StockX started, the sneaker market was maybe at 12 billion. Now it's sitting at about 28 billion and looking to
globally,
and looking to hit about 40 billion by 2025, which is very soon. But in the region, we're talking about like a 8 billion market cap in the region of the Middle East.
8 billion in the Middle East.
Just in the Middle East, which is a phenomenal number.
But what does it? What is counting as a sneaker? Every white sports shoe?
No. So we're talking limited edition sneakers. So
just limited editions are 8
sneakers.
billion?
Correct. So
but 8 billion dirham or dollars?
$8 billion. $8 billion in the Middle East. So when we talk about limited edition sneakers, we're talking about your Jordans, your Nikes, your Yeezys. anything that is at a retail store and is sold out. Now, you have to factor in that not all of the releases end up selling for thousands of dollars. Some may sell for 500 dirhams, some may sell for 1,000, some may sell for 5,000. But if we're talking in the region, I mean, I'll give you an example. There was a recent drop that happened now about a month ago, and the drop had 250,000 entries, and this was only UAE specific. So in a UAE specific store, we had 250,000 entries. Granted, a few of them were bots.
And entries? What is entries? Like pairs?
What's this?
Pairs of shoes? What is an
entry? Yeah. So there are 250 entries, meaning 250,000 people tried to enter for a raffle sneaker, but there was only maybe 5,000 pairs available. So there's 250,000 people trying to get 5,000 pairs of sneakers. So you can
was it an offline drop or an online drop?
No, it was at a physical store in Dubai, where people went online and they entered the raffle. The store had 250,000 raffle entries for the particular sneaker, even though there was only 5,000 available. So it just goes to show the demand for limited edition sneakers. And the companies doing this are doing this on purpose. Nike is manufacturing limited edition sneakers on purpose. They can easily fulfill the demand. They can make 20,000 pairs, 200,000 pairs, but they're doing this on purpose to create hype around the brand, and it's working.
How many pairs of sneakers do you own?
Myself, I'd say north of 80.
80 pairs?
Yeah.
And how many of those do you own from a collector's perspective, kind of investment? All of them?
All.
So you're wearing, let's say, just 1 or 2 pairs regularly?
I'd say I wear about half of what I have. So let's say about 30 to 35. Make no mistake, even after it's worn, it still holds tremendous value.
But you cannot sell on your platform.
No, on our platform you can't. That's right. So if I was to offload whatever I have onto Thriller today, I'd only be able to sell about 35, 40 pairs of my own. I wear about the rest.
Okay, but so you're building a marketplace now for that. So where have those people bought or sold their sneakers before Thriller?
So before Thriller, you would go to sites like StockX. You would go to sites like Goat, which are the two biggest marketplaces for sneakers and collectibles in the world. But the only issue is they're not area specific. Since they're based in the US and Goat is based in China, it's very difficult for someone in the Middle East, whether it's UAE or Saudi, to start selling or buying their sneakers. So when we started Thriller, we made it very easy for people in the region to start selling, processing payouts, do verification. We've streamlined the whole process. To put it to you this way, if you were to sell a sneaker on StockX before we existed, it would take you about a month from start to finish. From the time you uploaded the item to the time you got your payment, take you about a month. With us, it's within 24 hours if you're in the UAE, and it's within 3 days if you're in any other any other country in the Middle East.
Okay, you're rather young. We've talked about your age. I don't share it here. So in your community, how many of your friends are aware of this kind of sneaker thing? How many people are buying sneakers? Not like 80 pairs, but let's say do have a respect for a certain quality of sneakers. They, yeah, Adnaan, really nice pair you're having here. Where I would say I would never even spend like a minute on your shoes. But how many people in your community, in your age bracket, are sneaker oriented?
I'd say all, if not most. It's if you're talking about the generation, let's say between ages 18 to 30, you'd be standing out if you didn't hear about it or at least own a pair. It's extremely popular.
Now I feel really old here. What would you advise like an old white dude like me to do now?
So
because I can afford like buying even like more expensive sneakers. Right. I don't need to sign in for a raffle,
right?
Because I can wait for a guy who bought a sneaker at the store and put it on your platform, and then I pay like the 20% more or 50% more. No problem.
Exactly.
What should I do? How can I earn more respect in this young community?
100%. Yeah, I'm going to give you all the tips. So let's say you want to start fitting in. Maybe your kids are, trying to get you on the train. There's actually a collection on the website called Dad Sneakers.
Dad Sneakers?
Dad Sneakers. And it's sneakers for...
On your website?
On our website. I believe the collection is still there.
Not Dad, like D-A-D.
D-A-D-S, okay. Right? Like Dad, like sneakers for dads, right?
Yeah.
When we say this, for like people above 40. You don't necessarily have to be a dad, but you're talking about the older generation who's used to their...
it's okay. I respect it.
Who's used to their loafers and, their comfortable shoes or whatever it may be. So those are sneakers like we have some Yeezy 500s that are actually very comfortable.
Yeezy 500?
Yeezy 500s.
No, but Yeezy I cannot buy because he's sharing like nationalist antis.
Yes, that's right. That's a fair point.
I cannot go Yeezy.
That's a fair point,
actually.
I need
different
let's get you something else. There's some Nike MX 97s.
MX
97s.
97.
Those are extremely popular and they don't look
price-wise?
Price-wise, I think you're looking at maybe 800 to 900 dirhams. So it's not breaking the bank.
Okay.
And
dirhams, and I can even get them in my size.
What size are you?
Like UK size, 12, 13.
Any size.
12, 13.
13 UK. Definitely. Yeah. We can get them for you.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah.
MX. Okay. Nike, you say.
Our size actually range from...
I will ask my son first. He's maybe still too young. He's like 13 years old, but maybe he can.
No, that's the right age. You must get on it. That's the perfect age.
What?
13. We sell toddler sizes. Do you know that? If you have a toddler, we sell sneakers for them. If you have an 8-month-old child, we sell sneakers.
How much money are parents spending on toddler sneakers?
You'd be surprised, eh? Even though they only wear it for a short while. Let's say average toddler sneaker is about 1,000 dirhams.
1,000
dirhams.
So even more than the
MX 97s. That's right.
But let's say if I would have walked in here like with the MX 97s or with the Yeezys, would that granted me a bit more respect?
100%. Of course. Of course.
Oh man.
But only under one condition: if you had our Thriller tag on your sneakers. Like we have a tag on all of our sneakers that verify.
Do you have it on now?
I have it on. You can see it there. It's that red tag over there. So that verifies authenticity. So if
people here are wearing this tag?
Yeah. I actually saw someone at Seamless wearing the tag that they bought. They keep it on to show people that my sneakers are authentic, which is a very important aspect when it comes to this market.
But that's like people wearing a Rolex
and keeping the tag on.
With the tag on. Because many people I've seen here are wearing fake Rolexes.
Fake, exactly. It's a big issue in all luxury markets. The biggest problem that you face is fakes. So if you wear a tag or you have some sort of certificate that says my goods are authentic, it holds up a lot of credibility.
Okay, so you're now squeezing into this market, like from the $8 billion or from the 8 billion market here in the Middle East region. What is like the share that can go on marketplaces like Thriller? Because most of the sneakers will be sold just as products people use and then throw away when it's done. So like, is it like 1%, 2%, 3% of this 8 billion?
No. So I think, so if we just look at, let's say StockX, for example, quickly, out of their market share in the US, I can't remember the figure exactly, but they've taken over about 60% of their market share, which is phenomenal. So that's 60% in going towards secondary marketplaces like StockX is doing. So when it comes to the Middle East market share, I'd say that we could easily take over about 30 to 40% just of the Middle East market share. I think we already about 5% there.
Like 2 to 3 billion, you think?
2 to 3 billion, just on secondary marketplaces. StockX was valued at $1 billion company just a few years ago, and now they're phenomenally big. We're processing, on average, like I say, about 100,000, just under 100,000 a week. So we're doing roughly every 3 months, we're doing about 1 million. And this is with us just starting. So
how old is the business?
It's just over 18 months. So fairly new. And I think with the growth to come, it's impeccable to say what market share will take over.
So is it a business with external funding with VCs in it, or do you fund it yourself?
So initially it was bootstrapped. As of now, mostly it's still bootstrapped. It's all self-funded. But we are seeking investment. We have some promising investors lined up. Investors that have invested into big luxury companies. We have them lined up, and we're in talks with them to help expand.
Crazy. Tell me how you manage your growth, because it's like, without respect, it doesn't sound like a super complex business model. You have to create a marketplace that kind of offers trust for both sides, and obviously the marketplace that is like the dominant marketplace, it's kind of a monopoly game. So it doesn't make sense to have like 2, 3, or 4 marketplaces. So if you can manage a high growth rate within the next like 36 months, you're winning the game.
That's right.
How do you manage growth?
So we manage growth in a few different ways. So yes, you're right. In theory, the marketplace is not that complicated. The whole process from start to finish, in theory, it's quite simple. In practice, the way that we actually manage growth is we have, let's say, on average, I won't give the exact figure, but let's say we have 1,000 plus sellers. Now, these are individual sellers that we have. They are the vendor side of our marketplace. Without them, we would not exist. So they are funding the supply of our marketplace. And the way it works with marketplaces is about 80% of your sales come from 20% of your sellers, if that makes sense. So there's a very small population of sellers that contribute to your growth.
But how do those sellers get the access to the stock?
So those sellers, I know.
They put like 100 times their names in the raffle.
That's right. Exactly.
They are automating.
Exactly. Correct.
That's how I would do it.
Exactly. So they are entering raffles. They're getting their parents to enter, their siblings, their wives, everyone they know to enter. And then whatever pairs they're getting.
Sneaker hustlers.
I'm telling you, it's crazy how many people are entering these raffles. And that's why I gave the number of 250,000. I mean, there's not 250,000 individual people, but you can get the figure. So those sellers are actually entering the raffles, getting as many pairs as they can, coming to our marketplaces and trying to offload whatever they have. And like I say, 20% of our sellers contribute to about 75 to 80% of all of our revenue. So we like to incentivize the sellers a lot by offering them lower rates, faster payout times, etc. And that is one aspect of how we maintain growth. Another way is we've recently introduced a new category of items onto our marketplace called apparel. So we are selling now limited edition clothing. I don't know if you've heard of that market yet. There's limited edition clothing. So this is clothing that is founded by a specific brand. I'll just give you an example. Let's say Gucci and Adidas collaborates. Have you seen that collaboration?
Yes.
Yeah. So Gucci and Adidas collaborate, but now people walk into the Gucci stores, they buy out everything. You can't buy anything else. There's no way for you to get the Gucci Adidas t-shirt that you wanted. We allow sellers to start selling those items on our marketplace.
So it's like the last collection of Off-White.
Exactly.
Products.
Correct. So we actually.
You see, I'm
bit
in the game.
You're getting it, 100%, 100%. So if you look at Off-White, the founder Virgil Abloh, we actually had we have some interesting data points to share with you. The day that he died, unfortunately, we could see a spike in prices of all of Off-White sneakers the day that he died. So it just goes to show you that these sneakers and these clothing items, they're not necessarily just items. They're commodities. They go up and down based on worldwide events.
Crazy. So I understand. So money definitely helps you to manage the growth. The one growth channel I would definitely think about is like influencers, right? If they have like big influencers showing, okay, I made thousands of dollars or 10,000s of dirhams by selling on Twitter, you can do it too. That definitely will give you like a chunk of like new sellers and buyers, right?
That's right.
Have you done work with it?
Yeah,
are you an influencer yourself?
I'm not an influencer myself, but we work with a lot of big influencers. Fortunately, we were very lucky to get all the celebrities that come to Dubai. We are their go-to for sneakers. I'll give you some examples. When Drake comes to Dubai, he gets his sneakers from us. When Jason,
why would Drake need to get the sneakers from you? Because like most of the sneakers are like the companies are like in Europe or the US.
That's right. So Drake actually has a contract with Nike. I don't know if you knew that. So Drake can basically get any Nike sneaker he wants, but that means that his team can't wear any Yeezys or any other competition of Nike. So when Drake comes to Dubai, we fit out his whole team with Yeezys, with Jordans, everything that he needs. When Jason Derulo comes...
How do you get access to this product? Because do you use the stock from what you have on the platform?
Yeah.
You're buying them from your own sellers?
Of course. Everything is from Derulo. We don't outsource anything. So all of this influences pairs, whatever we get from them, we get it from the platform directly. They are buying it from the platform directly, and we are just doing a personal concierge service.
Okay, but why wouldn't Drake's team, sorry, maybe it sounds super naive and I
that's fine.
Feel very old now, but why would Drake's team need your team to get some Nike sneakers? Why can't they bring it from the US?
No, that's fair. So again, these sneakers are sold out. So they could go to the US and they could get it from maybe a secondary marketplace as well. But when they come to Dubai, usually they're here for a week, and we have very good relations with them. So we'll tell them that we are getting sneakers early. So for example, in US, it may only come out in 2 weeks. We're getting it for them today. If that makes sense. We're getting them pre-release sneakers or sneakers that are coming out the day that they're in Dubai.
Why isn't Nike directly shipping sneakers to Drake?
Because Nike only has a contract with Drake. And Drake is just one of the many influencers that we work with. We work with Jason Derulo. We work with Sway Lee. All of our influencers can be found on our social
How is
platforms.
this possible? Because you're like you're just 18 months in the
18 months
business
old.
and you're like rather young. So how could you get like into contact with those influencers?
So we have very good relations with a lot of big influencers. And I myself, I was selling.
I should have asked you what a good party is like yesterday. We looked out for a good party in Dubai yesterday, and we ended up in a place called Five, which was like super boring. Yeah.
Five Palm.
Yeah.
Yes.
It felt like it was a good place maybe 5 years ago, but it's like now it felt like, yeah. I don't want to go too much into detail. It's a nice place, but it's boring.
No, I agree. No, you see, myself, I was selling sneakers from the time I was 15 years old. So over the time I was selling sneakers, I've made very good relations with a lot of big influencers, celebrities, actors, rappers in the world. And
how did you get your sneakers when you were 15 years old? I know you have done the raffle game.
I've done the raffle game as well, and I was actually also a big supporter of StockX, which was one of the pushing points that made me that propelled me to start Thriller as well. So, you know, Josh probably benefited from me buying from him as well.
Okay. But like when I listen to you and when I understand this market, right? So it's like a kind of a growing market. So more people are getting the sneaker game, and you see it even in Seamless, people are wearing sneakers more and more, and it's like a good watch. So and it's even more future-proof business than watches, because like the people are buying less watches because you don't need them anymore.
That's right.
Shoes you need,
That's
and
right.
it's a growing it's a growing market, but it. Without a doubt, like if we're recording like in 2 or 3 years from now, it could be a business when you're talking to have like hundreds of employees doing like maybe hundreds of millions on the marketplace. That's definitely possible, correct?
Definitely possible. Definitely.
How many sneaker marketplaces are trying to come up now because of the Thriller success?
You know, there are quite a lot of them coming out, but you see a lot of them falling as well. And I think they come up and they fall so fast because they don't understand that this is a marketplace. It's a two-way dynamic. You can't only focus on the buyer aspect. You have to focus on the seller aspect. And I think that's where a lot of marketplaces fail. And if you look closely into the marketplaces that succeed, it's because they have a very strong seller supply side. If that makes sense.
Yes. Okay. Got it. Yeah. But usually with marketplaces, like there's always like this game. You have to keep the balance.
Yes.
Like too many sellers with not enough buyers will then sellers will say I cannot sell.
Correct.
Too many buyers without sellers, then buyers won't come back because there's no stock.
That's right.
So that's you need to balance it somehow. Do you see a chance that sneaker companies start drops on platform like Thriller instead of having them in the? It must have been an offline store. The store you've talked about. It wasn't in a Dubai Mall or whatever mall it was. It was a Dubai Mall.
Exactly.
But would it make sense in the future for? Yes, it totally makes sense because you might help them to select the most influential sneaker people, most successful ones. And as a sneaker company, I would love to have like the people that are owning very, very valuable sneaker collections having the next item first.
That's 100% right. And I definitely think that this is something that these retail stores will come to us with very soon, because we provide a lot of benefits that they can't do themselves. We can allocate the sneakers to, sneakerheads, as we call it, people who are actually wearing the sneakers and not reselling them. But at the same time,
those are called sneakerheads.
Sneakerheads. So anyone that's into sneakers would be sneakerheads. So after you buy your first sneaker on Thriller, we'd call you a sneakerhead, if that makes sense.
Yeah. But. I'm I'm a merchant, so my goal is obviously to sell sneakers first on Thriller before I buy them.
Fair enough. So yes, we definitely do think that's a possibility. But again, we do thrive on resellers because that's the crux of our supply side. So yes, there is opportunity, but at the same time, we would want sneakers to get into the hands of resellers as well.
God, it's such an interesting market, and I'm a bit fixed on the MX-75. Actually, I would not want like the dead category sneaker. I would definitely find something cooler, which is not that category. Then it makes me feel odd. Okay, I got the customer acquisition side, customer retention side. I also got. Let's talk about the business model a bit. So let's assume I'm selling for 1,000 dirham on the platform. What's kind of the take rate we are talking?
Yeah. So let's say you've won the raffle today. You've come to us and you say, okay, you'd like to sell your sneaker for 1,000 dirhams. You put it up onto our platform. We charge a transaction fee of 9.5% for sneakers sold. Now, keep in mind that we also have seller levels. Seller levels mean that we incentivize you the more you sell. If this is your first time selling, your fee is 9.5%. If this is your fifth time selling in the month, your fee drops to 8%. And if it's your 10th time selling in the month, your fee drops to 7.5%. So we incentivize you to keep selling with us instead of going with any other platform. So
are sellers still trying to find direct access to consumers via, I don't know, eBay marketplaces or any other platforms?
Yeah, so they are direct to consumer marketplaces that they can go to. For example, Dubizzle, they can just put it on Dubizzle. But the issue with D2C marketplaces is if you're selling directly to your end customer, there's a lot of scams. There's a lot of
verification.
And there's also the question of authenticity.
How many when those sneakers are sold via your platform and they're sent in, how many fakes do you have? Like on 100 pairs you're selling, how many fakes are?
I'd say out of 100 pairs, we'd maybe have about a good 7 to 8 fakes.
So many.
So far, we've rejected.
What is the quality of the fakes?
You get some really bad fakes and you get some really good ones. Like extremely good ones. When I say good, I mean we have 3 professional authenticators, and the good fakes can pass through all 3, and all 3 can be uncertain. That's how good the fakes can be. It can be a matter of one stitch that's different or one lace that's off.
Do you know what one of the most successful German Instagram channels is?
No.
It's called the Munich Wristbusters. They are analyzing Instagram photos, especially from influencers, and bust the people that are wearing fake Rolexes.
Okay.
Or like fake watches.
Yes.
Because sometimes the color of the wristband is not 100%. You should do this. 100% you should do this for sneakers.
No, of course. So
I can show. Have you heard of this?
I haven't heard of it.
Yeah, it's super successful. It's super successful. So I see. I can earn my pair of sneakers here. I see. I have 1 or 2 more ideas. I cannot share everything in the podcast, but
sounds like a plan.
I don't. Munich. I think it's Munich Wristbusters. I show you.
No,
definitely. Go on.
We
almost 10% fakes. That's crazy.
Yeah. So far we've rejected over 250,000 dirhams worth of fakes since we've started. So that's 250,000 of fakes we've rejected so far, and we rely heavily on personal-based authentication, but we also use sometimes a means of AI-based authentication, similar to the page that you're talking about in Germany.
Yeah,
but it's definitely something that's an emerging market, and we need to look into.
And you're saying you're like here in the region, focusing on UAE, but it's like you can do, or are you already doing it in Saudi or others? Here you can. I just share like the Instagram channel. It's rather successful, like 250,000 followers, and they have all the influencers that are like showing off like fake stuff. They just make a copy from the photo, and here you see meaty coder with a fake Rolex Datejust. This watch is a classical example for fake Datejust, and they say, okay, why is it fake? And you see all the comments, and it's kind of unfair. People like influencers busted. Because especially the fake ones that are showing off all the time, and I'm pretty sure there must be influencers wearing fake shoes.
I'm sure. Of course there is.
Yeah, it's my free marketing. It's my free marketing advice for you. If you want to it could be a good growth thing here.
I don't know if I'm going to be able to afford you, but thanks.
No, you don't need to need. I have like my advice, like the dead shoes, but this would definitely make sense. And and obviously this like started on Instagram. For you, it must be TikTok.
Yes.
Yeah, you need to like you need to what could be a good name? It's like the Sneaker Busters. Sneaker Busters on TikTok. Definitely a channel gives you like another 10,000 customer next week.
No, of course. No, TikTok is definitely something we need to look into. No, that's a great tip. But we do a show where we show you the pair of the week. usually the most expensive pair that is sold on the platform, and we take you through the verification of that pair. So to give you an idea, last week we sold one of Virgil Abloh's off-white Jordan 1 Chicagos. Those are valued at about, in dollars, I would say $7,000, right? So in dirhams, we're talking about, let's say
35.
Yeah, about 40,000 dirhams, something like that. And we sold one of those to the platform, and we have a full reel on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube Shorts, where our authenticator Hamza is taking you through all the points where he checks, we should look out for this, we should keep an eye out for this. This is a negative point, etc. So it's a very interesting topic that you brought up. Fakes are a problem in any luxury market.
Yeah. No, it's definitely like people are like reacting on fun content or like this content best. So
Yes.
it's easier for you to create, I don't know, 1 million TikTok views on a fake sneaker pair instead of like having the next, let's say, the MX98.
Yes,
like
of
presenting,
course.
oh, it's super nice sneakers, very wide,
Of course.
whatever, it's a sneakers. Okay, so we are kind of at the end of the recording. So what's coming next apart from the financing round and all the investors listening to it? It's like it's a no-brainer. You definitely should do it.
No, 100%. So I think what we can do now is we're looking heavily into marketing our other categories. So yes, while we've got great success in the sneaker space, we are now focusing on becoming the marketplace for anything collectible. So whether that is clothing, whether that is collectible figures, whether that's collectible baseball cards, the whole spectrum of anything collectible. That's where we're looking to.
But does it make sense? Because baseball cards and clothing, okay, that's close enough to sneakers, but baseball cards, the overlap to sneakerheads doesn't feel so heavy.
No, 100%. So yes, while you're right that it may not be the same customer base of sneakerheads compared to baseball cards, we are looking to expand our customer base not only to become the marketplace for sneakerheads, but the marketplace for any consumer who's looking for limited edition luxury. Whether that we may even expand to the watch category, which is a huge market in the Middle East. Because we have the platform for it, we have the marketplace for it. Now we just need to cater for the consumer base of it.
I see the Wristbuster business also expanding here in that market. Really, really. Oh, you should do a cooperation with the Wristbuster for me. Like, really nice. Yeah, I've learned a lot again. So I will definitely look on the platform, see what I can buy before I'm flying back this night. Depends on your delivery.
Yes, of course. We'll get you expedited delivery for sure.
Very, very, very good. Very entertaining. Happy to get the feedback from the community. Good luck, and I'm pretty sure next time I'm talking to a unicorn founder.
No, great to talk to you, Alex. No, it's a pleasure. I hope I've taught you about our sneaker world, even if it's a bit.
Thank you.